So hello guys, welcome to the 35th tutorial of Python programming. Now we are going to see what are functions. So remember, functions are really important, for that matter of fact, in any programming language, not only in Python, in anything. So first of all, let us understand what is the need of functions, right? We can understand what are functions. First of all, we should know why do we need functions. So suppose you have a task that you want to add two numbers. So you have a equals to say input of something, b equals to input, and then you write, suppose you write sum equals to a plus b, and then you just print them out. That is, you print out the sum. That is okay, it's fine, I'll just write it a plus b or sum, anything. So this is the task for adding two numbers. But what if you want to do this task or perform this task say 10 times? Then you are not going to type these all statements 10 times, right? It is too much tedious for us. We don't have to type so much. We don't like typing it first of all, and we have to type it. So basically that is why we need functions. That is, so suppose there is one specific task and you want to perform it some n number of times. Then you can write the task just one time and you can call that function, or you can use this code again and again by using functions. So if you write this code just once, you can use it again and again by using functions. So that is the need of functions. That is, we can reuse the code that we had written firstly. So you know, this was the specific importance of functions. So let us understand two types of functions now. So there are two types of functions called inbuilt functions and the user defined functions. So inbuilt functions are, first of all, let us discuss what are they. So suppose I have a list 1 2 3 or 11 whatever, and you write print out length of that list. So length of that list means len of l. So this is a, you know, inbuilt function. So this will give me the length of that list. So when I run it, I got 3, that is the 3 elements. So this is the user defined function or print statement. Whenever you write print, this is also a function, you know. So these are the, you know, inbuilt functions, but we want to have some inbuilt functions. So suppose we'll go with the same task actually. Suppose the task is to add two numbers. So you know, you have to define a function. What is the definition? We'll discuss it now. So to define a function, what you'll do, you'll just write def, that's all, that is defined. Then you'll write the function name. So the name can be the same as variable, that is whatever name that you want. So suppose I want to name it as add them. This is the name of my function, and then I write parentheses. So parentheses is nothing but these round brackets. So inside these I write the arguments. So we'll discuss them later on. Then after these parentheses we give a colon, and when we press enter now, it will give me an indentation automatically. See, it gave me, the cursor came to after 4 spaces automatically. So same way as we did for if statements or for loops and all, we got an indentation directly. So inside this code inside this part of code actually we'll write the task that we want to perform. That is the addition. So now see, you want to add two numbers, right? So you need the parameters or variables. So inside these parentheses you write the variables that you are going to use in this function. So for that, say a comma b are the variables that I am going to use, that is to add them. So this was the addition of two, not the addition actually, this was the declaration of two variables or the arguments. We call them arguments when used inside the functions. So now you just have to add them. So what you will do, you will write the code for adding them. So what you will do, you write sum equals to a plus b, and after that what you will do, you will just return, you know, you can just print out the sum. But in functions what we can do is, you can, you know, return, this is a new thing, return sum. So what does this do is it returns the sum of a plus b, that is, it returns this whole variable value. And one more thing, inside these functions you can, you know, type whatever is the you know, uses of the function, that is why we need that function. So actually what does this function do? So you can write, this is known as a docstring actually. Whenever you write a comment inside a function, it is known as a docstring. So you know, it is suppose we want to write the function. So you'll say it will add two numbers. Yeah, so this was the, you know, function, or you know, function of this function, you can say. So this was the task that particular function will do. So this is nothing but a docstring. So you know, these are the specific, if you are giving an exam and all, then you need to know the, you know, names and all. So this is the declaration of the function, and then this is the definition actually. We define that function. This whole thing is the function name, that is what is the name of that function. So inside these parentheses are the arguments or the parameters that we are going to use. So we use a and b, that's why we declared that yes, we are going to use a and b. And after that you just give a colon, and when you press enter you will get an indentation, and inside that indentation you can write the function's task, that is why is this function required. This is not, you know, compulsory. This is optional. If you want to write, you can write it, but it's not necessary. I don't write it as usual, you know. So after that, you just write the code that whatever you want to perform. That is a plus sum equals to a plus b and return sum. Or you can, you know, directly write return a plus b. So what does this return statement do is, whenever the compiler goes inside this function or the controller goes inside this function, it will perform all these things. Okay. And when it will return, see this return statement, it will directly jump out of this function. That is, this means the function has ended now. So this is the uses of return function. It basically returns the sum, actually, this variable. And after that, after two spaces, what you'll do, you have to call it. So suppose we are taking two numbers as input. So suppose we are taking a as the integer input, and this is outside the function. Remember, this is completely outside the function, and b equals to integer input, same thing. So we took a and b, okay, not integer input. So we took inside a and b, and after that you want to add them, right? So what you'll do, you'll just print out the sum. So you will write add them, that is, this was the function name. Now see, we are calling this function. This whole statement is known as calling the function. So this is the function declaration, and this is the calling of the function. So you want to add the two numbers, right? So suppose you want to add a and b, so you will write add them, print add them of a and b, and when you run this function now, it will print out, okay, hold on. So we want to take the input of a and b, right? So what is the a and b? Suppose you write 4 and say 6, then it will print out 10. That's all that it did. So you know, this did only one time. You can do it n number of times. So what we did, we use the print statement over here. So what if you don't write actually, suppose you don't write return, and you directly print out sum. You can do this thing as well. But when you write print over, because see, we printed out sum first, but again we wrote print. So but when you run this whole thing now and we type any numbers, then it will print out the sum, but it will print out none as well. But we don't want this none to be printed, you know, because this is an extra print statement. We already printed it out, so we don't want to print it. So see, this is the compiler. What will it do now? So well, let us run it first, then we'll understand what did it do. So suppose 3 and 5, then it printed out 8. Yeah, that's what we need to do. Now let us see what does the compiler do. So the compiler does not see this function firstly. Firstly, the controller goes to this function, actually goes to the code outside the function. So it sees, yeah, a and b. So it takes integer inputs of a and b. So we wrote 3 and 5, it stored them in a and b. So after that, it saw add them. But then when it sees add them, that is the calling of function, it searches for that function. So it searches and it sees, yeah, this is the function add them. So it sees, yes, I have to add a and b. So a and b are passed in these both things, and see, a and b, not necessarily that these a and b, this can be m and n as well. So when these are m and n, not like this. So when you write m and n over here, then whenever you call that function, you need to write m and n over here as well. So what does this do is, m means m becomes equals to a, and n becomes equals to b according to the order that we have provided. So that's why it will see, yeah, m is a and n is b, and it will print sum of a plus b, that is m plus n, and it will print out sum. So that's what that does do actually. But see, so we saw the controller actually. So it sees, yeah, m, it took input of n, it took input of n, then it saw add them, yeah, m and n. So it will jump to this statement. It will see, yeah, this is the function that I need to call out now. So it will see, yes, this I have to add. So it will say, yeah, sum is a plus b, and it will print out sum. So that's what it does do. But now suppose, you know, you don't want m and n. Suppose you want to add any two numbers that you want on your behalf. So see, suppose you want to add them and 2 and 4, it will still do its work. So what does it do? It links 2 to a and 4 to b according to the order. So 2 is a is 2 and b is 4. So it will simply print out a plus b. So this is one function. So you can call it n number of times. So suppose you can again do, you can call add them of 3 and 7, and when you run this code, again it printed out 10 as the output. Hold on. Again it will print out 10. So you can perform this n number of times. See, we wrote the code of addition only once, and we just have to call them by using this whole statement. That's all. And you can, you know, have n number of functions, whatever functions you want. So suppose I want to subtract two numbers. So you will write, define a function, sub them, and the parameters will be again a and b, suppose. And after that you will just write the subtraction. So instead of subtraction equals to a plus b, what you will do? You can simply write print out a minus b. And when you run this function, now we'll call them actually, we'll just call them. So when you write, say, subtract them, and suppose you write 3 and 8, and when you run this code, see, 2 plus 4 is 6. That's why, yeah, sum of 2 plus 4 and subtraction of a minus b. Now a is 2 and b is 8 in this function, and just it will bring 2 minus, that is minus 6. So that's all that it does do. See, this was the importance of function. You need functions for these. So basically these were really easy ones. You are just adding, subtracting and all. There are many functions, like if you want to calculate the length and all, I just, like I told you all, we write length of something. Then this was the inbuilt function. You can have one more inbuilt function actually. See, this was the length. Then you can have a function called ABS. This was the absolute. This is the absolute difference. That is absolute difference of suppose 2 and 5. And when you run this code, okay, hold on, you don't need this length and all. So when you write print absolute value of 2 minus 5, so see, the absolute value, the original value is minus 3, but absolute value is 3. So this was the inbuilt function. Absolute or length and all were the inbuilt functions, and the function that we define are the user defined functions. So this was a difference between these two functions. In next lecture we'll see the parameters and all, we'll see in details actually. So that's all that I need to tell you for this video. Thank you.